Hi, welcome to this video. It's right here. Python is one of the most widely used programming languages in web development. Its popularity has caused a surge in the number of people wanting to learn it, whether as complete dummies or as experienced developers in other languages. In addition to being a powerful programming language, Python is also flexible and easy to learn. This makes it a great choice as a fast programming language. Let's start with the basics. The first place to start is to learn the programming language itself. This of course seems obvious, but the most challenging thing, especially for beginners, is knowing where to start. Like, do you read a book? Do you watch YouTube videos? Or do you buy an online course? This may be an easy question to answer if you're an experienced developer, but for newbies, it can be overwhelming. That is why I created this video to guide you. You don't need to learn the entire programming language in order to use it to build applications. However, it will serve you best to learn as much as you can. For a start, there are a few fundamental things that you need to grasp to make your journey faster and more straightforward. Here's a list of things you need to learn in order to comfortably build applications using the Python programming language. A basic understanding of the Python interpreter, numbers, strings, lists, control flow tools like if and for statements, data structures, modules, input and output, errors and exceptions, classes, the Python standard library, and the virtual environments. Of course, there's more, but this should be enough to get you started. The Python programming language is huge, and there are thousands of learning resources online, both free and premium. For instance, you could choose to learn Python's noteworthy features using the tutorial on Python's own website. This tutorial will give you a basic understanding of the general flow or style of the language, its most basic features, how to write your own modules and programs. After that, you can proceed to dig deeper. In fact, this is the method I would recommend to learn the Python programming language. It will take you a month or two to finish the tutorial. Then you'll be ready to experiment with the web framework. There are many web frameworks that can allow you to develop web applications. If you're having doubts about whether you should use a web framework or not, all I say is this: put those doubts aside. A framework is just a tool that helps you perform tasks like interpreting requests, handling cookies and sessions, producing responses, storing data persistently, and so on. Without a framework, you'd have to write all this functionality on your own, which is not only tedious, but also unproductive. You want to use that time to focus on building better functionality for your applications, unless you're trying to build your own framework from scratch. Like we saw earlier on, there are many web application frameworks for the Python programming language. The full list can be found on the python.org wiki. The link is available in the description. Though a good number of them could be used to build a website, it will be better to use one that is most convenient. There are several frameworks that can be considered full stack. That is, not only are they comprised of server-side technology, they also possess modules for creating the front end of your website. One of the most popular among these is the Django web framework. Building with the Django framework is faster because it automatically takes care of tedious work like creating database tables. It also automatically generates an administrator dashboard to help with common operations like creating and managing database entities. This allows you to focus on building the other important parts of your application. For instance, if you're building a blog, you will need to build a back office, that is an administrator dashboard, where you can create new posts, manage existing ones, and so on. You'll have to write several classes and files to perform these CRUD operations. With Django, this is considered tedious work that does not require much creativity. It is for this reason that Django ships with modules that automatically generate the administrator dashboard on your behalf. As is the case with the Python programming language, the Django Web Framework also has a large online community and learning resources. However, there is also a tutorial for beginners on the Django documentation website itself. This tutorial is a great place to start to get direction on how to approach development with Django. The link is available in the description. After going through the tutorial to the end, you can now try to build something on your own. It could be your own portfolio website, a blog, or something else. In the course of your programming career, you will reach a point where you need to write large applications that will have multiple interactions between many different components. Writing tests is one of the best ways to ensure you do not break your application whenever you make changes to these components. Tests also play an important role in helping you to identify and correct any problems in your code. Fortunately for us, the Django documentation covers testing extensively. The link is available in the description. In the documentation, you'll get to learn important concepts in testing, including how to write and run tests, available testing tools, and other advanced testing topics. Embracing testing early on in your programming career will go a long way to help you improve your productivity in future. As time goes by, you'll soon realize that writing software is one thing, writing good software that is flexible and long-lasting is another. There are few well-tested programming styles and principles that will help you build better software. Some of the most common software design principles and architecture paradigms include programming paradigms like object-oriented programming, functional programming, structural programming. There are also software design principles like the solid principles, dry, do not repeat yourself, Yagne, you ain't gonna need it, and the Hollywood principle, don't call us, we'll call you. We also have software design patterns like the single stone pattern, abstract factory pattern, and the prototype pattern. We also have architectural principles and architectural styles. These are just a few styles and principles to help you write better software. To be honest, this is a huge area that is covered widely by very many different people. However, there is one resource I would recommend reading. This is the guide on Free Code Camp on how to learn software design and architecture. The link is available in the description. After learning how to write your code well, you'll soon realize that this is just part of the larger process. For instance, once you write your web applications, you will need to deploy them to an online hosting platform or share the code with clients or teammates. As a web developer, it is important that you be able to deploy applications to cloud hosting platforms. There are hundreds of different platforms where you can deploy applications. However, it is even important to know how to do the actual deployment. The Django documentation has an awesome guide on how to deploy a Django application to production using various different technologies. The link is available in the description. Some of the most popular cloud hosting platforms include Amazon Web Services, AWS, Google Cloud Platform, GCP, Microsoft Azure, and DigitalOcean. You are, however, free to choose whichever hosting provider you prefer. If you are one of those people who compresses your application into a zip archive and extract them on the server, well, you'll want to stop that. There are better tools that can help you manage your code and keep track of changes to your code. One of the best and widely used tools is Git. Git is a version control system that is used to turn your code into a repository that contains a complete historical record of changes to your code. Additionally, there are several repository hosting services where you can store your code so that it can be accessed across multiple devices. This is important as it aids collaboration. These platforms are also widely used in the deployment processes of applications. Two of the most popular repository hosting providers are GitHub and Bitbucket. In software development, being able to deploy and update applications quickly is a necessity. The main concept around automation is CICD. This refers to continuous integration and continuous delivery. CICD is a set of software development practices that enable software engineers to deliver code changes more frequently and reliably. This happens by introducing automation into different stages of application development. CI/CD is achieved through the use of automation tools such as Jenkins, Travis CI, and Circle CI. If you'd like to learn more about CI/CD, you might want to check out the following guide on at leisure. The link is available in the description. Containerization is the virtualization of an operating system to allow multiple applications to run in different user spaces on the same kernel. It involves the packaging of an application and all its dependencies into a standardized unit called a container. The container has only limited access to the underlying resources. This allows the application to be run on different infrastructure without the need for refactoring for each environment. The most widely used containerization technology is Docker. Orchestration, on the other hand, is the automated configuration, management, and coordination of containers. To ensure efficiency and better performance, large applications may be deployed on several hundreds to thousands of servers across multiple locations. Managing all these servers manually may prove to be impossible. That is where orchestration comes in. Orchestration tools may be used to automate the management of such a large volume of servers. The most popular tool for container orchestration is Kubernetes. Hopefully, this video helped to set you on the path to becoming a better software engineer. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.